What is a point of sale inspection? I'm going to answer that question as well as everything you need to know about them and why they matter. But first, I'm Erin Thomas and I am a realtor based in Northeast Ohio. I specialize in investments in commercial multifamily. So let's dive in. A point of sale is a city-mandated inspection required in order to sell a home, mostly in Northeast Ohio. Now, not all cities require a point of sale, and not all point of sales are the same. My good rule of thumb is if the city name has the word Euclid or Heights in it, it probably has a point of sale. I'll give you a few examples as we go through this video, but if you have any questions about it, a simple Google search with the city's name and the letters POS will probably give you all the information you need to know. Now, point of sales get a pretty bad rep and nobody I know likes them, but they do serve a purpose. The idea is that by the city mandating an inspection before sale, that overall the neighborhoods and the sidewalks will be better well kept. And it could go to say that most of the cities that have point of sales do have really lovely neighborhoods and better sidewalks to walk down. In a typical selling situation, the homeowner will order the point of sale. The city will come and send an inspector and the inspection will be done. And then the homeowner will then clear all violations in order to sell the home violation free. When it comes to working with investors though, it gets a little bit different. The homeowner will still order the inspection and the inspection will be done, but the buyer will now likely assume those violations. Once assumed, they may have to escrow some money in order to start the repairs, and they'll have about 6 months, depending on the city, to complete those repairs. The most common question I get from investors is, why would I go through that extra hassle? And my answer is because everybody else thought the same thing. If no one else is doing it, better deals can be had because you're going an extra step. Before I go into too much detail and confuse you, why don't I give you a few examples? Euclid, Ohio, it's an east side suburb, and its point of sale inspection requires no escrow amount to be held, and they come and they only inspect the exterior of the home. Now, in other cities such as Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights, a large escrow amount is required, up to 150% escrow hold. If the city you're looking to buy in has a point of sale, it's going to be mandatory. The only way to get around it is to use a quit claim deed, and that's not something I would typically recommend you do. There's another caveat, is that an assumed violation list cannot be assumed again. That means for you flippers, if you buy a house and assume those violations and then decide, you know what, this isn't working out for me, I'm in too deep with money, and you try to sell that violation list to somebody else, you cannot sell that violation list. You'll have to complete that violation list, and then you'll likely have to order another one and have them assume it after that. Yeah, there's a couple caveats with it. It's not the easiest process, but it's not terrible and it's not worth looking away from. You will have to do this, but what that means is that the properties there have typically been better well kept, or they're at least watching out for you homeowners to make sure that you're getting a good quality product. Okay, so if you're ready to purchase in a place that has a point of sale, and you should be, don't be afraid of them, here's what you need to know. First, before you place the offer, you need to ask to see the violations list. And if they don't have the violations list, then you should make your offer contingent upon reviewing that. The process of ordering the point of sale can take 2 to 3 weeks sometimes, and you don't want your money to be tied up in limbo for an escrow hold that comes back at $250,000. And that has happened. It was a 16 unit, so it might not stand for everything, but you need to review and approve those numbers first. Once you've reviewed and approved the numbers, you need to take your contractor there. Most cities are going to require your contractor's bid for the violations on that sheet in order to assume the violations. So you're going to take your contractor there. They're going to walk through with you and that violations list and create a quote for the renovations needed. Here's what you need to know though. The bid to fix those violations is not your renovation bid. If you are putting in granite countertops, a point of sale violations list is not taking that into account. They care about bringing the property up to code and up to standard. So your higher level finishes are not going to be included. That means two quotes. One quote for the renovations and the violations list, the other quote for the updates you're going to perform in addition to those. Here's a biggie. When reviewing the violations list, check the date it was inspected. If it was a year or 2 years ago, it's likely not in good standing. The inspector's probably not thrilled that it hasn't been cleared yet, and you're going to have to jump through an extra hoop of just making sure to get that contractor on your side. Once everything looks great and you've decided you want to move forward with the property, it's pretty easy. You sign a document. Each city has their own application. In order to assume it, you'll provide that contractor's quote alongside with it. You may have to escrow any money or hold it in escrow when you close, and then it becomes yours at closing, and those violations then become yours too. You'll take those violations about 6 months to finish it. Okay, we're in Cleveland, so I get this question all the time. It wants my roof fixed, it wants my driveway fixed, but it's November, it's gonna snow. How am I supposed to get this done in 6 months? Guys, the cities aren't coming after you like that. They understand that with snow on the ground, you're not gonna be able to put a new driveway in. Don't panic, just call the city. I make every city official my friend. I wanna talk with them, I wanna work with them. This way, when we all go to turn these in, we have somebody on our side. They're there for you, they're not there to get you. I know they're stressful, and you gotta think they probably get a lot of calls every day of people stressed out. So just call, ask what they need from you, ask what you need to do, or tell them, hey, I can't get this done in time, and they will offer you an extension. There may be some caveats if you're one of those people who still have the violations list from 2 years ago, but they're there to work with you. The biggest things I hope you take away from this video are, first, if you're interested in buying or selling a home in any of the cities you think may have a point of sale, put it into Google, the city name and the letters POS, and find out if they do and what it looks like. Interior, exterior, escrow hold, etc. The other thing is that you cannot assume an assumed violations list. If the contractor bought the property, fixed it up, wasn't working out, and they try to sell you that list, it will not close like that. So another creative arrangement may have to be done, but that's not going to work. And the third and most important thing is, don't be afraid to buy in these cities. I live on the east side. I love the east side. Find someone comfortable who knows the ins and outs, who has the relationships with the city, who can help you get it done easily and painless. It does not have to be tough, especially cities that don't require an escrow hold up front, which of course would tie up more of your money and could be more difficult. There's no reason to be afraid of it, especially if you plan on renovating it anyway. You're probably going to do the stuff on the list, so why not just do it the right way? If you have any questions about point of sales in any of the cities in Northeast Ohio, don't hesitate to reach out. Ask me questions below, like and subscribe for more videos all the time, and I will talk to you all soon.